Hey everyone, Nick Griot,
Sam Battersby.
and thank you for joining us here today for our YouTube Live. We're going to be talking about a couple new products, what's going on around the facility here this summer, and then do a spray detail comparison, followed by we're going to take some of your questions. So submit away, and once we get through the beginning part of this and everybody kind of has some time to get on, we're going to answer some questions as well.
Yeah, feel free to ask anything as we go, or save them for the end, either way. But we'll start off talking about some of our newest products that we have here. We've got our metal detailer, foaming metal detailer here. This is a new formula. For those of you that have been buying from Griots for a while, you may remember our old metal cleaner. This is a very similar aerosol formula, but again, a metal detailer for removing light dust, dirt, fingerprints, smudges, light oily residues, things like that from any metal surface. So it's great on chrome, polished aluminum, unfinished aluminum, stainless steel, anything that you'd find on an older hot rod or older vehicle. You can also use it in your house on stainless appliances, grills, and
Yeah,
anything else.
barbecue is my favorite use I found, especially in pollen season. Clean the living tar out of my barbecue and slide this and it wiped right off, super easy. And bond. The other cool thing that I'm pretty proud of is an offering we haven't had for a while are swabs. We introduced 5 different swabs very recently. So we've got 5 sizes and 2 different materials. So large square, this is a foam swab, so it's great for absorbing liquids. It can also be used for polishing purposes or wax application. A lot of seam work, a lot of trim dressing, ideal for that. Emblems. We've got a microfiber head, same shape. This is a little thinner, so you can actually do some cleaning with that. It pairs great with a quick detailer or like a citrus multi-surface cleaner. Some longer reach swabs that are great for vent cleaning. And then some more intricate swabs, a dual head microfiber swab, and then a very fine tip little cone foam swab. So we've got some variety. We sell them in 50 packs. We also sell a variety pack for $24.99, so they're pretty competitively priced as well. We've got a couple cool USAG tools as well. A couple new offerings in standard sizes, which we had a lot of customers ask us about standard offerings because we're an American company. USAG is an Italian company, so a lot of their sizes are in metric. These are nice kits. This is a 19-piece quarter-inch standard set, and then we've got a 15-piece standard half-inch set. That's your big bad boy self-defense weapon and your big fastener breaker. So those are some of our cool new offerings that we brought out this summer. We've got a ton of cool new stuff on the way. I cannot wait to show you what we've been working on for forever, but it's gonna be worth the wait when it's done. But we'll jump right into our spray detailer. We had some questions come in from you all. We need to clarify kind of some of our positioning with regards to these 2 products, and then speak to our sprayable waxes as well, which are not the same as our detailers, and we'll get to those eventually. But yeah.
Probably one of the most common questions we've been getting since the launch of Best of Show Detailer is what's the difference between Speed Shine and Best of Show Detailer? Great question. They are both detail sprays. They can both be used for removing light dust and dirt and fingerprints and things like that from exterior surfaces. One of the first things that will set the 2 apart is that Speed Shine is approved for use as a lubricant for your paint cleaning clay, surface prep mitts, synthetic clay, or any other mechanical decontamination method. Best of Show Detailer, however, is not intended to be used as a lubricant. It's a richer formula, so a lot of times it's actually going to over lubricate and may prevent you from picking up the contaminants that you're going after. It's also a more expensive formula, so it's not intended to be used in a high volume where you're using it very liberally around the whole car. You'd save more money using Speed Shine for that purpose. Another reason is that Best of Show Detailer leaves more behind on the finish. Typically when you're decontaminating a surface, you're either going to be applying new protection afterwards or doing paint correction. In both of those cases, you don't want a lot left behind on the surface because it's going to interfere with your protection adhering or your paint correction process. So Speed Shine is going to leave less behind, and it's the optimal lubricant for any decontamination method. The other big differentiator between the two is the surface enhancement that you get. Best of Show Detailer, like all of our other Best of Show products, is intended to give you maximum color depth and clarity. So you'll get a lot more appearance enhancement in the form of color depth and clarity as well as gloss from Best of Show Detailer than you will from Speed Shine. Speed Shine is going to leave some added gloss behind, but it's not doing a lot for the depth or the color of the paint, whereas Best of Show Detailer, specifically on a black finish or a dark colored car, you're going to get a pretty noticeable difference in the depth and the color. So this is really going to enhance the finish more and leave more behind. Other than that, they'll be used in generally the same fashion. You're going to use the same techniques and methods for them, and we'll get going on that next. So as I kind of demo back here, Nick will tell you a little bit about what we're doing.
Yeah. And, you know, as Sam described the differences between our two products, I like to differentiate and just say that categorically, detailers light cleaning duty, right? You're not thinking about something that's going to be a wash replacement, just for the simple purpose of cleaning up after you've gone on a drive. You're taking a car out of storage that was clean when you put it away, has a little bit of dust and film, pollen cleanup that isn't excessive and, you know, changing the color of your car completely. And we like to kind of opt away from the idea of, again, the purpose is cleaning. If we want to protect it, we have different steps for that as well, different products for that. And those generally adhere best when applied to a clean car. So
Absolutely. These are really intended, like Nick said, for in-between washes. They're not meant to take the place of a wash. We'll start, we'll use our Best of Show Detailer. The process would be the same for Speed Shine though. So we'll start here. One of the first things you see a lot of people do, not necessarily wrong, but one thing that you can do better when using a quick detailer is how you spray it on the surface. You'll see a lot of people that tend to do this. You're using a lot of product there and you're just going to be creating runs and drips that you're going to have to chase. So instead of being close and using a ton, just do a light mist over the surface like so. You just want to add lubrication. You don't need to necessarily soak the surface. If you're going after a bird dropping or something like that, sure, soak it, but otherwise just a light mist. The next tip is I always like to use a 2-towel method. So we'll use 1 towel for our wiping. Anytime you're wiping dirt off the surface, use straight line passes in one direction with no pressure. So I'm lifting away from the paint as we go here. We've removed all the dirt or dust from that section. Now I'm going to come in with a second towel that is dry, and I'm going to quickly buff to a streak-free finish. So once you've removed the abrasives or the dust, then you can come in and buff back and forth without the risk of causing any sort of scratching or towel marks. Another tip is to always be careful with your towel management. Sounds kind of silly saying towel management, but keeping your towel folded in half twice is going to give you 8 clean surfaces to rotate to. So when you are doing a dirty panel or a dusty panel and your towel's getting dirty and soiled, flip it to a fresh side and continue working. Using 2 towels will prevent your drying towel from getting soaked through and leaving streaks. When your cleaning towel, your towel that you're wiping up the dirt with, becomes overly saturated, throw it in the laundry and grab a second towel, and then move your drying towel to your cleaning towel and use your fresh towel to dry. That'll maximize the efficiency. Anything I'm missing here, Nick?
no, just be careful with that Lincoln, man.
It does have very, very delicate paint. That's one reason we're using our plush edgeless microfiber towels here. These are a split nap microfiber, very, very soft towels. Very forgiving when you're working on extremely delicate paints like what we have on the Lincoln here. Some towels on a delicate finish like this, if you use pressure, you can leave towel marks, which you always want to avoid. So we'll use the nice plush edgeless towels. These are also exceptional for picking up dirt and dust because there's a lot more nap to them, so they give them somewhere for the debris to go other than just sitting on the surface of the towel and potentially causing scratches when you're using the towel on your finish. So that's the general method. You would use that same technique for Speed Shine or Best of Show Detailer or any other detail spray out on the market that you're using as well. The same kind of technique can be used with all. Another differentiator that I forgot to mention between Best of Show Detailer and Speed Shine is Best of Show Detailer is going to be your go-to detail spray when you're out on the show field or concours lawn and you're working against hot panels and direct sunlight. This product is going to perform far better on a hot surface in direct sun than Speed Shine will. If you do cause streaks with this on a hot panel, the best part about it is the streaks will normally wipe off dry as long as they haven't been allowed to set for a super long time. And that prevents you from having to spray on more product, causing more streaks and getting in that annoying circle of trying to remove streaks while creating more. So very user-friendly product in a hot panel in direct sun. Great for use at car shows when you don't necessarily have the option to move the car into the shade. Anything?
No, and the only other clarification is with the towels. Obviously, we sell towels, but the more towels you use, the better. I hate seeing people that are just taking one towel around a car that's the size of this Lincoln. Not only are they wondering why they're getting streaks because they're trying to dry a liquid with an already wet towel, but they're just pulling whatever dirt or, you know, if you do have a heavy contaminant particle that you find on your lower rocker and you take it around your hood, well, you've done a lot more harm than good. But yeah, great differentiation between those two products. Really, as I see it, Speed Shine is my light duty cleaner. Best of Show is my finishing detailer when I want to add pop at that last moment and in that, you know, high heat, exposed sunlight setting. So hopefully we answer those questions. I wanted to segue into our sprayable waxes because there has been some confusion about those products. We have two products that kind of follow a similar path. Spray on wax is a long-time product of ours. It is not a spray detailer. It has no cleaning capability. It has a light carnauba emulsion and is meant primarily as a drying aid to help replenish any carnauba that may have been stripped off during your washing process. Likewise, Best of Show Spray Wax is not a spray detailer. It has no cleaning capabilities. It has a higher carnauba emulsion and can be used either during the drying process or as a wax, a sprayable wax job. It has a higher carnauba emulsion. It will give you a durable carnauba finish. We even recommend washing your car, drying it, and then decontaminating your paint to create the highest level of bond and greatest level of durability. So again, those sprayable waxes, different from the detailers, which again, primarily are for light duty cleaning, granted with the added purpose of Best of Show Detailer being kind of that pop enhancing, high sunlight scenario, and Speed Shine having that clay lubrication capability that Best of Show does not have.
And speaking to the carnauba content, our standard spray on wax is a less durable formula. As Nick said, it's not going to have as much carnauba in it as Best of Show Spray Wax does. It also doesn't have as much synthetics in it. So Best of Show Spray Wax has some synthetic ingredients mixed in to add durability to that product. Best of Show Spray Wax could, in theory, be used to replace a standalone wax as long as you're using it frequently enough. However, we do always still recommend having a base coat of wax down on the finish and supporting that or fortifying with your spray wax, either spray on wax or Best of Show spray wax. Spray on wax is really a wash to wash type protection, whereas Best of Show spray wax will last far beyond a car wash. I would say, up to about 3 months in most scenarios when you're maintaining the vehicle and keeping it in good shape.
Yeah, and once again, just to clarify, there are some companies that deem their sprayable waxes as detailers. We do not, because we don't want you cleaning with the more expensive carnauba.
Yeah, they also don't have as much lubrication built into them, so they're not as safe to use to remove dust and dirt from a finish.
Yeah.
These are specifically designed to be used on surfaces that are dirty to make it safer for you. A spray wax is not necessarily designed that way, so you may run into seeing more scratches that you're causing during that process.
Yeah.
Stick with these for your cleaning and the spray waxes for protecting and fortifying your base coat. Also important to mention that these, as well as both spray waxes, are safe for every exterior surface on your vehicle. We get a lot of questions about, will the spray waxes dry white on trim or plastic surfaces, things like that, they will not. They're great ways to protect your trim and surfaces that you wouldn't normally apply a wax or a sealant to. They also work great on glass, so lots of good options.
Okay, well, we got some questions that have come in through the live stream, so we're gonna move on to those. So if you've been hanging on to ask some questions, submit them now. We had some that were submitted via Instagram yesterday, so we're gonna get to those, and then we're gonna go down and pull out some of the ones that you guys asked us recently. So it's funny, we were gonna talk about USAG tools as part of this live stream, but we had a question about why USAG tools are so expensive. And primarily, it is because they are still made in Italy, and they're extremely high quality tools. The level of forging and the amount of ergonomic consideration that goes into those tools is exceptional. These are generational tools, so if you buy them, of course they have auto lifetime guarantee, but they are manufactured in a way that they are not commodities, they are investments. So if you're buying a USAG tool from us, you know it's a quality piece, and they do have to come across the pond, which makes them a little bit more expensive.
Yeah, very, very high quality stuff though.
Okay.
Let's see,
We had another one from one of our local buddies asking, do we film these here at the Tacoma facility, and would we consider doing them in front of a live studio audience?
Why not?
Yeah, why not? Like, come on down. I guess we'll have to schedule one, and we'll think of an interesting topic, and you guys can give us your opinion about what you'd like it to be about, and then we can go full Ricky Lake, Maury, Jerry Springer style, and get a real rowdy bunch and see what the heck happens.
Live questions coming in. Keep
Yeah.
us on our toes.
All right. Hello from Puerto Rico. Thank you for tuning in. We had another question about our next sale. Basically, if you want to find out about our sales, the best way to do that is sign up for our emails. That's generally how we do the majority of our promotions. You can also request a catalog from our website by going to the catalog request form. That's another way we do some promotions. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook. You'll know we do those periodically. We just did one for Memorial Day, so if you missed that, again, sign up for our email. You won't miss the next one. But we've got some stuff coming up for Father's Day as well, so keep your eyes peeled.
Yeah, if you're in the Tacoma area as well, they put out an email for our retail store that'll have promotions that are specific to the retail store as well. So that's another good one to get signed up for.
Okay. We had a couple come in on the stream. Let's see. Do we sell a polish for removing minor scratches from your paint?
Absolutely. We sell a couple different products you can use to remove minor scratches from your paint. The word, minor scratches can mean different things to different people. So when we say minor scratches, to me that means a minor defect such as a swirl mark or a very light imperfection. So for those, we have our complete polish, which is an exceptional product for use by hand or with our random orbital. And then we also have our Boss Perfecting Cream, which is going to perform at a higher level, and it's going to be great for use on long throw random orbitals like our G15 and G21. The Perfecting Cream will work a little bit quicker for you if you're using it on an orbital. But complete polish is also a great product if you need to do it by hand or you're using the standard 6-inch random orbital. For heavier defects, we have our complete compound, which will go after moderate to severe defects. And then we have our Boss Correcting Cream and Boss Fast Correcting Cream, which are also great for more severe defects. Keep in mind, general rule of thumb for a scratch or a defect to determine whether or not you take it out by machine is to check it with your fingernail. If you catch an edge with your fingernail and you can physically feel the scratch in the paint, odds are it's not going to come out with a random orbital.
Yeah, and likewise, we always recommend starting with a gentle method. So for these minor scratches, like Sam said, minor varies to a lot of people, right? A lot of guys come up to us at car shows saying, I don't have a single scratch on my car. Well, most people think of a scratch as, like Sam said, tangible, something that an ex-girlfriend took a key and left her name on the side of your door. But scratches come in many different forms. Always start with a gentle process first, and then work your way to more aggressive solutions, and we have the whole gamut. But Sam's recommendations, I would endorse those as well. I think he knows what he's talking about.
always do a test section. All cars are different, all surfaces are different, so what worked on the last, scratch removal or paint correction you did may not work on the next car. So always do a test section before you start doing the whole vehicle.
Yeah. Okay, we got a couple other questions come in. Couple funny ones. I guess we were having some mic issues early on. Hopefully you can hear us now. Let us know. We'll try and speak up and be a little more legible. David Gatelli asks, can I use that clear interior cleaner on leather? Quite simply, yes.
Yeah,
yes.
Absolutely. Interior cleaner used to be our primary product for deep cleaning leather. We've since come out with our odor neutralizing leather cleaner. That product is specifically for leather. It's going to clean a little bit deeper than interior cleaner will, but that does not at all mean that you can't use interior cleaner on leather. It's still great for cleaning leather.
Yeah, and with leather, especially leather of older age, there's different dyeing methods. So we always recommend to test an inconspicuous spot on your leather with anything you're cleaning it with. Both of those products are detergent based, so they are meant to lift oils and dirt from your surface. As such, they could lift a dye on an older leather surface. So always test and use a kind of softer bristle brush if you're going to use a brush. You don't want to attack a leather system with an acrylic brush or anything that's got a stiff bristle. Could do a lot more harm than good.
Yeah, and always important too, if it's a used vehicle, leather repair and vinyl repair are very common, specifically of cars that are bought at dealerships. So be cautious, test in an inconspicuous area. If you see that you're pulling dye, check that spot and potentially retest or go to a less aggressive method. But sometimes you'll run into an old repair that may not be as resilient as the factory surface.
Yeah. Okay, so again, interior cleaner, perfectly safe on leather, and you can use it on a ton of other interior surfaces as well. It's great for organic stain removal, carpet spot treatment, leathers, carpets, anything where you've created an organic stain, that product is great. So it's got a little bit more versatility than just leather as well.
And check out the new leather cleaner. You won't be disappointed.
Yeah.
It's awesome stuff.
Okay. Spray wax is a synthetic. I guess we need to clarify that a little bit more.
Yeah, I might have caused some confusion there with my late comment, but the standard spray-on wax is not synthetic. It's primarily a carnauba-based formula. Best to Show spray wax has a higher carnauba content than standard spray-on wax, but it's more of a hybrid formula. It does have some synthetics added to give it that outstanding durability that it has. So that's one of the reasons that product has more synthetics in it. But standard spray-on wax is still going to be your more traditional carnauba-based spray-on wax formula.
Yeah. Getting a few compliments about the Boss correcting cream and fast correcting cream. Those are our more aggressive abrasives within that Boss cream line. Amazing products, long buffing cycle, can be used with long throw machines and do cut a lot of time out, and they do finish down pretty gentle, so it can eliminate the need for polishing, jeweling, secondary steps. So thank you for those compliments, guys.
Yeah, if you're looking for the fastest and best results, the Boss system is always going to be the best way to go.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, a lot of feedback there. Okay. Does it make? We got this question on Instagram as well. Does it make sense to use spray-on wax as a drying aid while using Brilliant Finish rinseless wash, or should I use rinseless wash and wax instead? Great question. I think it's six one way, half dozen the other. Wouldn't you agree?
I was going to say the same thing. Yeah, I mean, you're probably going to spend a little more time using the spray wax as a dry aid after Brilliant Finish rinseless, but you're going to get a very similar effect. You're going to get the vehicle clean and protected. Rinseless wash and wax will do the same thing. You might save a little time with rinseless, but the end result isn't going to be drastically different. One benefit of the rinseless wash and wax is you can dilute it at a stronger concentration at 15:1 in a spray bottle and use that to add even more protection after you've done your rinseless wash in the bucket. So it does have a little more versatility to it.
Yeah. So again, like he said, rinseless wash and wax is one product for those two steps, and it has the variability of dilutions. Rinseless Brilliant Finish rinseless wash, no carnauba within it. Sometimes we have detailers that don't want to pay for our carnauba impregnated formula. They just want to clean the car because they know they're going to do a more substantial correction process. As such, we have that Carnauba-free rinseless option.
Yeah, we've had some feedback from detailers too with the rinseless wash and wax. If you use that to prep a car that you're going to be doing paint correction on, it can prevent tape from sticking on trim because of the wax protection on your trim. So if you are planning on prepping the car and taping it off, the Brilliant Finish rinseless with no wax in it is going to be a better option for a rinseless wash in that stage of the process.
Okay. All right. Hopefully that answers your question, LJM2. You really have some options there. Okay, this is the second question we've gotten about how to maintain a ceramic coated car. Which of our products are ideal for that? You wanna?
That's a great question. We get this one a lot, like what can you use on top of a ceramic coating? The good news is the majority of our sprays and our products that you would apply to maintain and add protection are completely compatible with coatings. Typically, I would go for either Best to Show Detailer or Best to Show Spray Wax, being that those are going to give me more protection and more appearance enhancement. Usually on a coating, you're going to have a very high level of protection and depth and color. Coatings will tend to add a lot of depth and richness to the paint. So you're going to want to maintain and add to that. So the Best to Show products will put you right in the ballpark to add even more enhancement and protection to the surface. Great way to add life to a ceramic coating, prevent it from spotting and things like that. Rinseless wash and wax at 15:1 is also a great product for that same exact purpose. That one will have a little bit more cleaning ability to it. So if you're wanting to replace a standard hose and bucket wash, the rinseless wash and wax will do that for you, and it can also be used in between washes at the 15:1 dilution for quick wipe downs.
Okay, we have a question. Will you ever introduce a direct drive dual action? Now, direct drive DA in and of itself is kind of a misnomer.
Yeah.
And so we'll clarify that. I think what you're asking is if we will ever introduce a rotary or direct drive tool. That is different from a DA, which is a dual action, which is the rotation and oscillation, which creates that lower temperature, enthusiast safe, and professional safe tool experience, which is different from direct drive or rotary.
Yeah, dual action or DA and random orbital mean the exact same thing. Rotary or direct drive are going to be those tools that are gear driven with no orbit. They're simply spinning, like a DeWalt or Makita rotary tool.
I would say that at this point, you're going to have to wait and see. We might have something up our sleeve for you all. Piggybacking on that, do you plan on making a new 3-inch polisher? I would say, again, that's a wait and see. We have quite a bit in the pipeline this year. We've been very busy behind the scenes. If you have our 3-inch polisher and you're looking for better results, my initial reaction would be check out our 2-inch backing plate and pad adaptation kit. Basically what that does, you put a 2-inch backing plate with the same weight onto that 3-inch pad, and it helps it spin a little faster, turns up the heat. And then the thinner pads that mimic our Boss style also improve the capability of that machine in the interim without spilling too many beans.
Yeah, if you've been using the 3-inch, like Nick said, with the standard backing plate and the 1-inch thick pads, you'll be pretty impressed with the way that tool performs, even just with the Boss pads, but as well with the 2-inch plate. It's a great combo.
Okay, this is a great little question here. I use the convertible top protector, and now I have spots all over my windows. Can y'all smart guys help? We hope we can.
Fabric protectant overspray can leave some spots behind. Good news is it's pretty easy to remove. There's 2 different ways you can do it. You can use like our paint cleaning clay, synthetic clay, or surface prep mitts and speed shine and simply decontaminate the surface to remove the overspray. Or you can also use a solvent-based adhesive remover such as the 3M general purpose adhesive cleaner. Just make sure that if you are using an adhesive remover, it is safe for clear coat like the 3M product is. Isopropyl alcohol will also work as long as it hasn't, the spots haven't been there for a very long time. After a day or so, they will harden up and you'll have to use something a little bit stronger than alcohol for removal. Keep in mind products like 3M adhesive remover will strip or diminish your wax or sealant protection. So if you do use something like that to remove the spots, just reapply them in the areas you use it. Anytime I use fabric protectant, I always will go around the car right afterwards and just wipe up the windows and any spots I got overspray really quickly. Or another great way to do it is pick up one of our disposable car covers, throw that over the car, rip a hole for the convertible top, and tape off around the convertible top so that you don't even have to worry about overspray at all.
Yeah, that's a pretty, I mean, it just depends on how much you value your time. Those $15 covers can save you quite a bit of time on the back end. But if you watch the video that we have about fabric protectant, we pretty explicitly state, if you get some overspray, clean it up right away. That should be a way to avoid those things from, hardening and creating that, thing to be. Now, I did see, I think, Craig, or Jan, you were referencing a gear-driven dual action. So we overstated what us smart guys know, I guess. So comparable to the Flex 3401, a very high-quality machine, dual action pattern, but it is gear-driven, so it actually will push you. It's not free-floating like our random orbitals. I would say we do not have plans to introduce a tool comparable to that.
Yeah, not yet, but we're always growing our tool line. So
okay, let's see. What products do you have for engine bay cleaning, or what's recommended process? Well, we have quite a bit of products for cleaning an engine bay. Our most natural product would be our engine cleaner. Very safe degreasing product that can be applied via foamer, sprayer, or in its trigger form. It's extremely effective. I like to use it on wheel wells as well. It's got plenty of purposes around the car. That's our most formulated one.
foaming surface prep at 10-to-1 is also great under the hood, and then our citrus multi-surface cleaner can also be used for engine bay cleaning. Check out the video that we put out about a month ago on engine detailing.
Yeah, it's pretty comprehensive, a great process, kind of highlights some of the tools you need, some of the tools you can use to make your chemicals more effective and lower the burden of physical work for you.
Also, it talks about when and where to use each of those cleaners that we just mentioned. So
Yeah.
that's it.
Biggest thing about engine cleaning is, just be wary of the age of your car. If you've got something British from the 70s and 80s, I don't think you should clean your engine with the same process that we did. But at the same time, some of these newer cars, most of the electronics are so well tucked away, there's really nothing to worry about. But any exposed leads, just be careful. You don't want to dump a whole bunch of water on those things. Now we get a little bit of commentary about why we put water on an engine bay, and generally it's pretty safe.
Yeah, new vehicles are designed to get wet. Everything is sealed. Another good rule though is if you have leaks, if fluid is coming out of it, fluid can also likely go into it. So don't hold your pressure washer. You may be tempted to soak that leaky valve cover gasket at the front of your motor or whatever, but be cautious focusing high pressure water in areas where leaks are going to be. Address them with a cleaner and a brush instead of trying to pressure wash them off or anything like that.
Especially if you've got old school BMWs that leak as much oil as you put into them.
Yeah, or those old British cars.
Yeah. We've been around the block, a lot of those things, but they're all fun.
Check out the video. It goes over all that.
Will you be getting into the ceramic spray market? That's really taking off right now. We've been getting that question quite a bit. Just to quickly reiterate, we would not be being honest if we didn't say that we weren't working on something. But we wanted to reiterate that the reason it's taking us some time is because we are developing that in-house, much like we do all of our liquid chemicals. We have to vet it through our manufacturing capabilities and processes. That being said, I'm pretty sure we understand the chemistry and we're going to make an exceptional product. We have just been slow to market as we develop that in-house. What you'll find with a lot, the major manufacturers that are out there are few and far between. There are a lot more people that are private labeling products like that so they can bring them to market a little faster. But there are some great products out there right now, and we know that when we bring ours to market, it's going to be exceptional.
Take the best that exists and make it better.
Yep.
We got a question directed at the engine subject. So David is asking about the safety of detailing an engine bay on his 2014 Hyundai Genesis. On a vehicle that new, you're going to be good to go. There's very little risk involved. Again, watch the video. That was on a newer vehicle as well, so everything that we cover in that video would also apply to your car specifically.
Yeah. Again, this Lincoln behind us, it's a carbureted car. There's no exposed electronics. This doesn't see a lot of water to begin with, but I'm not going to actively apply pressurized water via a pressure washer or a hose. And again, it's going to be pretty easy to tell. Anything after 2000, I wouldn't shake a stick at. I'd go right after it. Yeah. But if I'm diving into an older car where I'm really trying to do a deep clean, 100,000 miles, again, maybe carbureted, exposed, fuel system, cold air intake, just avoid the places like Sam said. If water or air can get into them, it probably don't, it doesn't make a lot of sense to force water into their areas.
Yeah, you can also clean engine bays without water if you do want to go that route. If they're not extremely dirty, products like Speed Shine, rinseless wash and wax, citrus multi-surface cleaner can all be used without water as well. Modern engines where you have all the plastic cladding and covers can often be spruced up pretty nicely without water as long as they're not incredibly dirty. So.
Yeah, I mean, just a light sprayable clean, even Speed Shine or Best to Show Detail are great ways to clean them. And then simply dress them with something like vinyl or rubber dressing, or our engine bay dressing, which is exceptional. That is like one of my favorite products. It makes it so nice and easy.
That's awesome.
Okay, do I have any sprays that can go on all exterior surfaces? Yes, we have quite a few. In fact, we're standing next to two of them. If you missed the beginning of this video, you can go back and watch it, but pretty much these are safe on all exterior surfaces. Again, you want to avoid just generally spraying onto hot surfaces like a hot glass windshield. They're going to dry up a little faster, but they're safe for all those surfaces for sure.
Yeah, I would say the only, when you say all exterior surfaces, we're thinking of your standard vehicle with gloss paint. When you start talking about like matte vinyl wraps or matte paint, the only products you wouldn't want to apply to those would be like your Best to Show Spray Wax, Best to Show Detailer, and Best to Show Spray Wax. Because of the appearance enhancement, those can look somewhat inconsistent or add gloss on a matte surface, whereas like Speed Shine, rinseless wash and wax, Brilliant Finish rinseless wash, those types of products are going to be perfectly fine on your matte or satin paint or vinyl.
Okay. I'm going to take a few more questions and then we're going to head out of here, but thank you guys again for all your participation and sticking with us throughout this. And you can continue to comment after we've posted the video and continue asking questions. We'll get back to you. We're going to end on this question. Best way to protect carbon fiber, and then do you guys sponsor detailers or cars? So I'd say I'll give you the carbon fiber and I'll answer the sponsorship.
Awesome. So carbon fiber, that question will depend a little bit on how it's finished. Is it raw or is it clear coated? Most carbon fiber is clear coated. Yeah. Typically, if it has a glossy finish to it, it has a clear coat on it. In that case, you would treat it basically just like you would your glossy paint finish. If it's raw carbon and it's a matte finish or you can feel the weave texture in it, that likely means that it's not clear coated, in which case you're going to just want to be a little more cautious to make sure that you maintain that finish. For a matte carbon, I would go with our rinseless wash and wax at 15:1. It's going to clean it, it's going to protect it. You're going to be able to use it to maintain it in between washes as well as replace your wash with it. So it's a great way to go on matte, unfinished carbon, matte vinyl, matte paint, all that kind of stuff.
Okay, and then the last question is, do you guys sponsor detailers or cars? No, we do not sponsor detailers. We do have pathways if you are trying to buy directly from us. Our wholesale department can be contacted, and if you meet certain requirements, you can do direct business with us in a wholesale relationship. And then for cars, we participate with a few builders around the country, and we do sponsor cars that participate in the SEMA show and go for certain awards. Generally, we do a lot of screening for that, but primarily what we sponsor are car clubs and car events. That is our kind of best way to interact with a community that we know is interacting back with us. There are a lot of nice cars on the internet. If I could have $1 for every time we'd ask for a sponsorship, I'd have a lot more of them. But really, we try and focus on the communities that kind of come around where we can do educational outreach and reward participation in those clubs. We do a couple of our exceptional car sponsorships have other causes as well. For example, we're partnering with a car build that has all the proceeds of the sponsorship go to Parkinson's disease research. So we like to do things like that, but not generally individuals or individual cars at this time.
Don't let that stop you from repping our products, though.
Yeah, we love that. We got a few more things that are coming your way where we'll do some contests, give away some swag. So keep following us on Instagram, subscribe to the YouTube channel. We're going to do more of these lives coming up as the summer kind of kicks into high gear for us. And then follow us on Facebook as well. And continue to comment, ask questions. And the more questions you ask of us, the more chances we have to answer your questions. So thank you so much for watching, guys. And we love our customers. We love that you guys came and hung out with us.
Keep an eye out for the polos for sale
Yeah.
soon.
Yeah. These are coming soon. We know we get a lot of questions about this. Okay.